Hello, and welcome back. So, updates. My last piece, the Rippin' and Tearin' Through Hawaii. That's what I'm going to call this one. Rippin' and Tearin' Through Hawaii. You thought those jokes were done. No, they're not. Well, it sold. I didn't, I put the auction up. I didn't even have time to post it. What happened is my mom actually seen it. That's right, my mom. And, she never really wants anything well, not in a while. And, yeah, she was the top bid on that sell. So it sold. And what was our goal for that? The California Fire Foundation. And that's right. So with that painting, we raised $25, which will help families in need after fires, which ravage my state. It's one of the biggest concerns. We have the largest firefighting force in the world. Now, I think they have like the 5th largest air force in the world. Anyways, that also means that combined with the other painting I've done for this so far, I've raised a total of $45 for charities I thought were worthwhile. Now, of course, I will have another charity drive coming up for the summer. I try to do one every time the seasons are changing. And it'll likely be something for disaster response or swimming, something having to do with people drowning, because every year I see way too many people drown in my area because they want to go up to the water and they don't know how to swim. A whole family went just a few years ago because they took a 3-year-old. The whole family got on a boat. None of them knew how to swim. And the toddler fell in, and then like 5 family members jumped in after it. And, it's probably a good thing to raise awareness about. It feels pretty good for me being able to accomplish these things. But if we're not paying for a charity today, what will we be working on? Well, hopefully you could tell by the thumbnail. That's made in the future, so I don't know what it's going to look like yet. But it's Jessie and Meowth, a portrait my son wanted me to make for him. So we'll get started on that here in a minute. They're making their bloop bloop noises. That's actually the water, but you hear it clicking in the back, and that's actually their little, tooth palette, rubbing on their mouth. I love them. But yeah, I'm so happy to get that one sold, especially after the last one took a while. But we did indeed accomplish that goal. It's personally nice for me, for my art, to have meaning, for me to be doing it for something I consider positive. Too many times in the past has my stuff went to nothing other than entertaining me. But this has actually turned out to be quite a long intro for one of these videos, so without any further ado, let's get to the drawing. It'll probably just be drawing today, but we'll see how far we get. And of course, we're going to need some samples. Almost forgot to hit record again. Record again. I suck. Okay, so we'll start off. We got our meowth there. I'm just going to get out of the way now. Meowth, meowth, meowth. I have to say it like that. So, my doodle's actually pretty close. So, one thing, anyone joining me for the first time, I love about cartoons is that I can do light pencil sketches, go in and ink it, and then do everything behind it. Like, I'm going to draw Meowth. Then I'll be able to draw Jessie, do what is essentially her butt through his face and whatnot, erase it, and the two pieces won't interfere with each other. So, let's get started on our Meowth. Now, for some reason, when I'm looking them up right now, a bunch of really scrawny looking Meowths. And, not too many of them look like what I have in mind when I think of Meowth. Here, I'll just go back for a second. And, look at that thing. No? Look at that. This is what I want. This is how I remember them. Look at that. This definitely, talk about unrealistic body standards for your long cat. It's weird how he ended up getting, the most variants. Oh, who did this one? That one's nice. It's a real cute little art. I'm going to try typing in the show. I'll type in season 1. Yeah, see? Chunkier. They have made these guys a lot thinner. He wasn't even that fat. He was just kind of round. It's like Pikachu, you know, they made him like... I don't even know what they're doing with Pikachu. Honestly, bro, like, they took our beloved chunky boy. They thinned him out. Okay. I get that, maybe. And now they just made his head round. Like, the fuck, Pikachu? Your mom squeezed too hard? It's just like, why? Why did you have to make him smooth so it's easier to make 3D models for because you want everything to be 3D now? Like, we might have accepted that years ago, like when circles were first developed for video games. But nowadays, it's just like, dude, stop being lazy. You're the largest media franchise in the world. You don't need to simplify your designs. Watch, I'll just end up being like, well, that's actually a regional variant Pikachu. It's called Marble Chew. I guess that would just be Meryl. So I'm not liking the lines here, so what I'm going to do is go to the middle. How many does he have? It's hard to tell on this one. 4. Okay, I see what to do now. I was going to split it up, but... Getting really hung up on his coin. Coin's important, though. I don't know if I'm going to give it a wicked shine like in The Gift, our previous one, which was the first charity piece we did on the channel. Mainly because... My cat's having her lunch, if you hear it. Mainly because... well, that one was Christmassy. Christmas is twinkly. It's got, like, you know, stars and whatnot. This one's going to be more dark. I might put in... I'll probably experiment on a different piece of paper. I really want to make it look like some dark gold, like how that is. Okay, I think that's about where we're going to get it. I want to make his whiskers... When I was a kid, they bothered me. I'm like, he's got long, flush tentacles, but they're just whiskers. They just look weird. You know, a lot of those early, like, light details. You know, actually, now that I look at it, like, just right here, it kind of reminds me of a Kabuto. Not the Pokemon, not that weird, uppity guy from Naruto, but the helmet. Or is that Kabuto? Someone more fluent Japanese than me is going to get onto me between the difference in pronunciation of Kabuto and Kabuto. You know, by the way, if anyone's out there, you know, you need to keep your mind sharp. Duolingo. Yes, this is a sponsored ad for Duolingo. No, it's not, actually, but, you know, people talk about all these fun games. You can learn this stuff, keep your brain sharp. Just doing 5 to 15 minutes of a language lesson every day greatly improves your mental capacity. And you learn something. I just pick, you know, I have a few languages on there, whatever one's interesting me that day. And I do one. And I feel like my brain works a lot better when I do. I just wish, honestly, Duolingo would offer an English course for English speakers, like to help me with my grammar and whatnot. You know, I'm writing a book right now, and actually I've written books before, but as I got older, like I started writing my original one, I was like 14. So there's a lot of references in there from just stuff I like, and then like later on, as an adult, I was like, it's just people are just going to see all these references. It didn't feel original. Doing a different story, but the point I'm trying to get at is my grammar is just horrid. And I don't even understand how. People think I'm like Asian sometimes, like I'm East Asian or something, the way I write. And I don't understand it. Like, it's the whole thing. Like, I don't even see how what I'm doing is wrong. So, like, you know, if I could get some English courses, I would. But that's why I'm really doing the story because I enjoy it. It's just one I've wanted to write for a while. And I'm just going to put it out real cheap, like $5 or something. I've seen apps with pretty bad stories where they charged a lot more. So it's like the build your own story apps. Right, so I got his whiskers down now. What I'm doing is lightly going through them. I want to get that perfectly round head. Kitty, I really wish you weren't drinking in here right now, sweetheart. But I'm not going to make you stop. All my animals want to make weird watery sounds. At least my neighbor's not outside with the beep beeps. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already really liking the look of this Meowth. Just going about it slow, and I don't know, I want him to have that air about him, like a boss, you know what I'm saying? That low band energy. Getting a little Chinese for you, but I think give him a big smile. By the way, I have a question for the audience, because I got challenged on something recently. What is the puss? And I don't mean the pussy. I mean, what is a puss? As in, you have a sour puss. They have a sour puss on their face. I popped you in the puss. Because as far as I knew, that was the mouth. You have a sour puss on your face. You get popped in the puss. I'm not the one that made these terms up, but someone heard me saying, because my son got popped in the puss, and they acted like I was weird, and said, I'm like, so, has anyone out there heard that expression, popped in the puss? If I popped a puss in a puss, where would I hit it? I'd be popping him in the mouth. Now, again, if the puss had a puss, I probably would not pop the puss to begin with. I actually would not hit an animal in general unless... Well, actually, like when I put in situations where animals were attacking me, I just kind of tried to detain or stop them, much like in actual fights, without having malice towards them. Probably why I've been bit a lot. I mean, animals, it's a bit easier because they don't have understanding like people. A person does something to you, it's pretty... I want a better look at his eyes. There we go. No, I'm sorry, I'm getting quiet there. I'm just really focused on this. I'm really enjoying doing this piece. I got a little bored with our last one. I want more like... The furrowed brow is too angry. I typed in cool face and this abomination came up. And I love it. Meowth dude. That's hilarious. Now, what I'm really trying to look for... That's freaky. I'm trying to look for his eyebrows. I guess they just kind of choose when for him too, and he only has them when he's angry. Well, the lines of them. Okay, now I gotta go in here and just creep some of this out. I think that's better. Our old line ended up being our eyelid. It's a little too wabi-sabi. Lao Tzu lived in a hut and he ate straw. There we go. Oh, I know what to do. I'm going to give him a little brow. And raised brow, so he's like, yeah. By the way, any young or new parents in the audience, you got to sign your kid up for school this year? Now's the time to do it. More stuff no one tells you. Okay, so I got his look down. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to finish his body. He's ta-la-la. Ooh, his ding-ding-dong. Now that song stuck in my head. Ooh, you touch my ta-la-la. My meowth. You pet my puss. You pet my puss on the puss. I like his body in this one. This will work. So, you can give him chubby. We'll make a chubby meowth. Kind of just our body outline. He's just got cat paws, don't he? I don't know. I made that arm a little weird. See, I don't know. Man, I want him holding a fan. I know what I want to see. God, the clicks are on the keyboard. Here we go. This is specifically what gave me the idea for this one. Because I love that, the old hoodlum look from a 80s anime. I could do it like this. Well, actually, it'd be... That's kind of slick, I'm not gonna lie. Just kind of put the R shape for now. I can't decide if I like the fan or not. God, these are the pictures I want online. No, I don't want to go to your website. Because I could also do... I'm just going to leave his other arm here while I draw it. While I draw what I'm thinking. I think part of the problem is I'm making his arms too human and not enough, like, weird Pokemon nubs. Maybe something more like that. Yeah, or just have his arms down at the side and he has the jacket on. Well, he's gonna have the jacket either way. Oh, I know what to do. You know, first off, this is going to break up Jessie. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to mess with our girl. But also, I can infer just a little nub there. Then it'll be like... There. Now it's like he has a sword. So he's got a sword behind his back, and he's got the fan. He's like, "What's your move?" I like that. So I think I got him down. I mean, his feet. I haven't been staying on my examples, I know. There we go. His feet are probably going to be out of frame. But his tail will be like right here. There we go. I didn't want it to get fatter like a squirrel. And put the band right there. Okay, so. Oh, this is showing up. The pencil ones usually don't show up that good on the camera. I hate how the search on the iPhone is freaking return or whatever. So stupid. See, something like this. Kumaru Kami. Yeah, not enough contrast there, but that's like the only good one of someone wearing one. Oh, look, this one's pretty similar to how our guys post. Yeah, I should get the fan more like that, more up. Yeah, I like this guy. I'm looking to this guy for inspiration. Because that's what they do. They hold the fan, usually to proclaim something. So, this guy's shoulder is more out. His arm would be like this. This is going to be a soft little kitty paw. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. Hides part of his chin, which I'm going to lighten because I still want that line there for reference, especially if I don't stick with this. Yeah, there we go. I'm outlining the R, but I'm actually going to color that in later. You see, it's not how he's holding it. He's holding it kind of out, and then he has it up. There's times in the past where, like, sometimes I would ink something like this, like his head, and draw stuff in. And I might do that with other stuff later on. But right now, because it has the potential to cut through the piece, I don't want to do that too much. Because repairing ink lines is hard. Yeah, about there. It's interesting that, like, in our world, Meowth has retractable claws. Something, you have to look it up because every cat is different. But some large cats don't have the ability to retract their claws. Which is kind of funny because when they're portrayed in media, I mean, they always, and then the claws come out. But, you know, I've seen depictions in media where dogs did that. So he's got a little bit of a thumb. It's the thumb and then the rest of the fan's coming out of the hand like this. This random guy posing in this clothing ad has helped us out immensely. Erase that inside. You know what? I forgot his glasses. See, I'm using my finger to measure. I'm drawing the lenses in, but honestly, they're going to be done way later. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. He looks pretty cool. Looks like a boss. So now, let's get our jacket, and let's go back for our jacket. Let's go to this guy. Headless Model Man, number 3. It's got those long straps. I want to end before the tail. So let's erase this. Still have that little bit of brass sticking out under his paw. Just barely. I need to go back to that other one. Look at that arm. Wrong guy. Here we go. Kind of bunches up there, doesn't it? Like this. It does a lot of the, put anything on the jacket, a lot of the details being hidden by the fan. Maybe his hand needs to come up and curl more around the fan. Okay, I think that's a pretty cool looking meowth. And I think we can ink them for today. Usually don't take that long. The problem I always have is finding a good pin. So you'll see I have this test paper here, and I bet you half these pins I use will do fine here and then mess up when I'm doing it. So what I use is Uniball Signo, because these ones don't smear when you go over them with water for watercolor. So look at that, looks pretty good. I'm going to do some trick lines. Okay, let's hope it works. I'll start right here. It already made a little freaking spot. Instantly, not working like it did. These are the tricky ones because I can't obviously do that shape. Now first I want to point out, let me smooth this one out a bit. You may notice I went a little high on this one, so then I went high on this one so the tail didn't wind up fatter. So when you have a spot like this, you want to go back into the line and you want to start just edging it out slowly until you can get a big stroke. And that'll make it look more like one cohesive line. Not like you stopped and started a bunch of times. Let's get our coat down. And it is just a reminder right now that if there's anything you would like to see me draw, you have any charities in mind you would like me to draw for, or if you'd like to commission something for yourself, I'm happy to hear about all that. And if you request something, you know, even if you're not buying it, if I like the idea, I'm probably going to draw it. Also, if you just have any questions about certain drawing techniques. Now, if you do request something that you don't intend to pay for, I'll likely just auction it off like everything else on the channel and just not do that one for charity. Or pick a random charity or something kind of tangentially related. Like, obviously, if you have me do you a Gyarados and you don't pay for it, I'm going to sell that for breast cancer awareness because, I mean, come on, Gyarados and breast cancer. It's obvious. Okay, there we go. He's got his little sword nub. Sword Cat Online. Some people are going to be like, why does Meowth have 2 tails? Let me tell you about it. And a lot of stuff, like this pot, looks really messy. But once you get the ink out, it looks a lot cleaner. That's also why I don't like to go too long between when I'm doing this stage and when I ink. Because I will forget small details like that. I'll forget what I'm looking at or what something's supposed to represent. That's why I make mistakes. Of course, if I mess this up too much, I'll just start over. Like I say, never be afraid to start over. Especially if you did it once, you can do it again, and it'll probably be better the next time you do it. Because you're better. Skill issue, bro. What's funny is I normally start with faces. Kind of like I did when I was drawing this. So here I'm doing like the opposite order I would do, and it's mainly so I don't run my hand through the ink and smudge it. But it's kind of a funny bit of a challenge for me at the moment. Now when I was saying, oh, you'll forget things, this R, I would forget this R. And then I would like ink it. If I did it later, you know. I'd forget, oh, I want that to be pure red. So here I have a lumpy line. Like that lump there. And as you see, I just went through it to shore up the inside of the shape of his face. That kind of solved it for me. You know, a cat's whiskers fall out. If you had a cat, I'm sure you found one laying around. I wonder if Meowth's whiskers fall out. I haven't seen that in the show. They look kind of funny because how thick they are. Trying to double in these lines so they look super thick. They look like thick glasses frames for the person who needs them. Problem is I can't show it to him right away. I have to wait until it's substantially done, at least the outline everyone's done, because he'll just be like, why? Why is the girl see-through? There's this app out right now called Simply Draw, and he's like, I want that, and I feel insulted, because, I mean, you've seen me done the draw videos before. I'm like, but I can teach you all that. He's like, I want to do that app. And I mean, like, yeah, if you don't know anything, it's alright. But it's dog crap lessons. And, like, come on, bud. I could literally show you how to draw anything you want. Thing is, he doesn't want to draw, though. He wants to draw on tablets. And he kind of, I think he thinks that app is on the tablet, but it's like, I don't know. I guess it's like if Jeff Gordon's son came to him and was like, Daddy, I want Danica Patrick to show me how to drive. You know what? I retract that statement. Danica Patrick, she's a very talented driver. Okay, it would be like if Danica Patrick's son came to her and was like, Mommy Danica, I want Jeff Gordon to show me how to drive. It'd be like if the Hulk's little Hulkster came to him and said, Hulk Daddy, I want Undertaker to show me how to be rocking in the free world. Okay. Little guy is looking sweet. I'm kind of mimicking old Yakuza art, but it's making me realize, like, is Team Rocket Yakuza? Because they're a crime organization in Japan, right? Isn't that what makes Yakuza Yakuza? I don't know, like, if you're a Japanese teenager, right? And you decide to form a street gang, are you just a street gang or are you Yakuza? I guess there's some difference because the bike gangs aren't considered Yakuza. At least I haven't heard the term used that way. Maybe someone more culturally enlightened can shed some light on that one. You're not doing anything to my life I haven't done to myself, kid. Meow. Alright, I got an interesting fight matchup for you. Meowth, specifically the Team Rocket Meowth versus Alf. Who you putting money on? Personally, I think Meowth. Alf has a size advantage, but Meowth is crafty. And Alf is lazy. He probably, can't we just get sushi or something? No, actually, because it's American Dub, he's like, can't we get some jelly donuts? Like, oh, I love jelly donuts. Oh, nerve-wracking, bro. Nerve-wracking. Should have started with the face. I'm a little afraid the pin was going to mess up, though. So you see that line? It kind of messed up. So what I'm doing is I just kept going through it. Turned out a little thick. But I think I fixed it. best I could. Maybe there's something with Jessie there, like I could put her arm or something to help hide it. We'll find out when we get there. I don't know if you heard that, but the neighbor kid was beating on his dad's trailer with some sort of bat, and now his parents are outside lecturing him. Okay, so we got our little boss Meowth down, and he looks kind of cool. So, this turned out to be quite a long video. So what are we going to do next week? We'll start on outlining Jessie. We'll be able to cut through the Meowth. I'll show you what I was talking about there. Maybe we'll get her inked, but considering it took me this long to ink this much, it's probably going to take a few with her, starting with the more detailed and working down. I will show you, if it does, how you can do part of it, and then come and save it next week. Or when you have to work on it again, like if you have art classes or something. But, you know, I'm really satisfied with this today, and I hope you are too. As always, I'm really excited to see how this turns out, and I hope to see you back here when we finally get to see it finished. Well, till next time, have a good one.